Something gives.
Uh-oh.
But it's
Uh-oh, no,
not
it's
the
gonna
jail
come.
bars.
What? Frosty the Sportsman, mechanical failures, and it's curtain call for this caveman. Today we're back at it, breaking down and reacting to all of the over-the-top medical scenes and absurd ways people supposedly kick the bucket from 1,000 Ways to Die. Here, joining me today is my wife, Jen.
Hello. For those of you who didn't know, I used to be an actress on the show back in the day. Fair warning, lots of the red stuff ahead.
Let's dive right in.
The real Encino Man.
Okay.
Meet
gosh.
Uba, Zog's prehistoric babe. She's definitely no different than today's modern housewife. She sits around thinking of things to complain about.
I'm offended.
That's messed up. How is that such a thing? Be grateful that somebody wants to hang out with you.
I wish I had the time to sit around and just think of things to complain about. That would
I know,
be...
always. Working, and more work.
When Zog finally comes home with some freshly killed food, she lets him have it.
Don't want raw meat anymore.
It's raw.
I'm sure there's tons of medical things from uncooked meat that would come into the hospital.
Most of the time it's just like bacteria, and then obviously not eating certain parts of infected brains, right? Mad cow disease, that sort of thing.
Zog is suffering from a bad case of Homo erectus.
Oh my gosh.
Obviously he's...
Yeah, but isn't Homo erectus a biology term for something? They were the mid-size Homo sapien people
Now
that
it's...
walked upright for the first time.
Yeah,
I
they were
believe.
like before Homo sapiens.
Uba goes off to spend the night at her mother's cave.
Oh,
And lo and behold,
Oh.
he discovers
fire!
fire. Soon enough, he's roasting meat.
Who's had food poisoning before? Me, for sure.
Yeah.
You get a
we-
lot of that?
Yeah, we get lots of food poisoning. Most food poisonings are viral, and they just have to run their course. And you have to stay hydrated.
But Zog not only discovered fire, he also found out all about smoke inhalation.
Oh, smoke inhalation. Obviously, getting smoke in your lungs, having difficulty breathing, and taking issues relating to hypoxia and not getting oxygen to your tissues, all that stuff.
Ruh-roh.
It's got no fire alarm to go off.
Maybe if the wife were home, she would have complained about the smoke.
This is not like
not
far-fetched. This definitely could happen.
It might happen.
How long does it take?
It just depends on how much smoke, the environment, all the other factors.
Dude, you gotta get me out of here. My cellmate, he wanted to oil me up and lick me, and he told me I had pretty eyes, and then he wanted to take a shower with me.
Jarrett needs to get out of the slammer. Dan's a man with a plan.
Okay, wait a minute. This slammer looks like Old West days. It's definitely like a set.
Yeah. From my past experience, the first time I shot with them, it was definitely on a sound stage and they rebuilt an entire apartment.
So this is on a Western set.
Yeah, this is definitely a Western set.
Something gives.
Uh-oh.
But it's
Uh-oh,
not
no, it's
the
gonna
jail
come.
bars.
What?
What?
Obviously decapitation, not survivable.
It's crazy how strong that cord or cable would have had to have been to just clean.
How
clean.
taut, right, and how taut it was to have so much force to it.
It severed his spine.
Oh my
Decapitated
gosh.
like a weed whacker to a dandelion on the front
Whoa!
lawn.
No, I do not see this type of injury in the emergency department. I have seen weed whacker injuries. Don't use that kind of wiring. And if you do, go in an enclosed vehicle.
I was gonna say don't bust your friends out of jail.
Sal screwed him
Oh,
good.
jeez.
The car was a junker, but the engine was a jewel.
It's really scary when you go to work on cars. My uncle that I grew up with,
Yep.
a mechanic, the amount of injuries I saw.
He could get 600. Easy.
Whoa.
Idiots! Chop Shop Sal got to chopping.
Chop Shop Sal. You gotta wear your welding mask.
Yeah, we do see quite commonly welding injuries, arc burns. You basically get inflammation, swelling of the eyes, and just hurts. And actually treatment ends up being patches over your eyes and not allowing your eyes to blink.
The motor was made in the USA. The chain holding it up, made in China.
Oh! Obviously, you need the blood splurting out of the mouth for it to be visually appropriate. But no, it doesn't happen.
Melodramatic, but it was also wrong.
You have to have had bleeding into the stomach or to the esophagus and you vomit up the blood, or have immediate bleeding within the lungs. Blood blunt trauma to the chest, crushing the sternum, crushing the heart. Does that cause immediate death? Probably not, unless it crushed everything, ruptured the heart open, and you bleed out quickly. Probably ultimately died from a type of suffocation.
On one tonight.
Do you ever get the urge to get stupid drunk?
Do you ever get that just urge? I've got the urge. No, not anymore. Maybe back when I was in like college.
Did you live in a hospital?
I lived in an old psych ward. It was housing provided by the university. We'd walk through security with beer into the hospital.
Paint yourself in your team's colors and sit half naked in sub-zero weather at a football game?
Honestly, that's how I felt when we were doing the cold plunge.
If you guys haven't checked out that video, check it out when we did cold plunge. I loved it.
Only an idiot would do such a thing. Meet George.
George! They don't do it very much anymore, but sometimes hospitals in the pharmacy have cans of beer for anybody who potentially is going through alcohol withdrawal, because alcohol withdrawal could actually be life-threatening.
With an Arctic cold front moving in, today's game was going from the fridge to the freezer.
I once filmed a show in Detroit, Michigan during the polar vortex, and we were not allowed to stay outside more than 15 minutes at a time because the temperature was so low. It was negative 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and they said our lungs would freeze.
Yeah, typically your lungs won't necessarily freeze. That's just fear. Whoa.
Oh no.
Increased risk
George
of
was
hypothermia.
flirting with a condition called hypothermia.
Yeah.
No one around him took any notice.
Plus, with alcohol in your system, again, you're not as aware.
You're feeling hot, hot, hot. Right? Alcohol makes you feel warmer than you may have been.
He just seemed like the obnoxious drunk he always was.
So they thought he was drunk, but he's actually altered and becoming hypothermic. So you become confused, lethargic.
Being painted blue, the fans
couldn't see
around
his
him
color.
didn't notice that he was actually turning blue.
Your skin can get frostbite, and the tissue could potentially die from that type of exposure.
How quickly does your skin go from blue to black?
Actually, it's more delayed. The tissue will then die, and then over hours to days will that actually start showing dead necrotic tissue.
And how do you treat that?
Amputation.
With his core temperature dropping below 88 degrees.
Whoa, 88 degrees Fahrenheit. Super cold. Our normal body temperature in Fahrenheit is 98.6 degrees, which is 37 degrees Celsius.
37?
Suffering from severe hypothermia, his major organs seized up and his flesh slowly froze.
What? So that's crazy. Everything kind of slows down, and then what ends up happening is you end up going into cardiac arrhythmias, and that's why you end up dying. Obviously, this could occur. We do see people who get hypothermic type injuries. I love this. This is always fun. I love having reactions with my beautiful wife, Jen. So if you guys enjoyed this, definitely check out this playlist right here, Binge Watch Everything. And as always, make sure you subscribe, turn on those bell notifications, and hit that like button for me. Thank you so much for watching, and stay healthy, my friends.
Bye.